It was supposed to be a punishment, not a nightmare. Alex, a 16-year-old high schooler, had gotten caught skipping class too many times. His teacher decided to make an example of him by assigning midnight detention. The idea was simple. He'd sit alone in the classroom until the clock struck 12:30 a.m., supervised by a teacher who sat at the front. That night, the halls of the school were disturbingly empty. The usual chaos of lockers slamming, kids laughing, and sneakers squeaking across the floor was replaced by silence. The hum of the fluorescent lights overhead was the only sound. "Just 1 hour," Alex muttered, dropping into the desk in the back row. "I can handle this." His teacher, Mr. Dawson, looked up from his papers. "Stay put. I'll be back in a minute. Don't go wandering." The door clicked shut behind him. Alex leaned back, tapping his pencil against the desk. That's when he heard it, a faint whisper. At first, he thought it was the air vent, but then the whisper became a voice, a low, drawn-out sound. "Alex?" His stomach dropped. He spun around, but the classroom was empty. Every desk, every chair, exactly where it should be. "Very funny," Alex called out, forcing a nervous laugh. "If this is some kind of prank, I'm not scared." The lights flickered. The whisper grew louder, closer this time, as though it was right next to his ear. His pencil rolled off the desk and clattered to the floor, making him flinch. When he bent to pick it up, he froze. Someone was standing at the back of the classroom, a tall, shadowy figure, motionless, watching. Alex's breath hitched. He stumbled back, heart racing. "Who's there?" No answer. The lights flickered again, and the figure was gone. The door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Alex leapt to his feet and tried the handle. It wouldn't budge. He yanked harder, panic surging. "Help! Somebody open the door!" Behind him, the sound of slow, deliberate footsteps echoed through the classroom. Step, step, step. Alex pressed his forehead against the door, praying for it to open. When he finally dared to look back, every single desk in the room had been turned to face him. Just then, the door unlocked with a loud click. Mr. Dawson walked in, holding a cup of coffee. "What's going on? Why are you shouting?" Alex's face was pale, his voice shaking. "Did you move the desks?" The teacher frowned. "What are you talking about? I was only gone for a minute." Alex looked back. The desks were all in their original positions, perfectly aligned. From that night on, Alex refused to stay late at school, and when anyone asked him what happened, he would only say one thing: "You don't want to be here when the clock strikes midnight." Every school has that one room nobody talks about. For Westfield University, it was Lecture Hall 6. Students whispered about strange shadows that danced along the walls, even when the room was empty. Professors avoided teaching there, and the janitors only cleaned it with the door wide open. One Friday evening, 4 friends, Emily, Jack, Ryan, and Mia, decided to test the legend. "Come on," Jack grinned, pushing the heavy door open. "It's just a room. What's the worst that could happen?" The lecture hall was massive, with rows of wooden desks and a chalkboard that stretched across the front. The air felt heavier than the other classrooms, as though something unseen was pressing down on them. They settled into the front row, joking nervously at first. But the longer they sat, the more uneasy they became. "I swear something just moved," Mia whispered, staring at the far corner of the room. "It's your imagination," Ryan said, though his voice trembled. Then, without warning, the door behind them rattled. The handle twisted violently, as if someone was trying to force their way inside. Emily shot to her feet, running for the exit, but when she tried the handle from the inside, it wouldn't turn. "Guys, it's locked," she cried. The rattling stopped. Silence filled the room again. Then, from the back of the hall, came the sound of wood dragging against the floor. Slowly, painfully slow. A single chair was moving across the room on its own. "Okay, nope, I'm done," Jack muttered, pulling out his phone, but the screen wouldn't turn on. Dead. All of them tried their phones, all batteries drained to zero. The air grew icy. Their breath came out in pale mist. Suddenly, a loud scratching sound tore across the chalkboard, as though invisible nails were carving words into it. The 4 of them stared in horror as letters appeared. "Get out!" Emily sobbed, pounding on the door. "Please, let us out!" Finally, the door creaked open from the outside. The janitor stood there, holding his mop. His expression was grim. "You kids shouldn't be in here," he said flatly. They rushed out, gasping for air. Emily turned back to look into the lecture hall one last time. The room was empty, except for a single chair, placed dead center, facing the wall. In rural Japan, there's a story told by high school students about a hallway that never ends. They call it the cursed path. Ayumi, a second-year student, stayed late one evening after her art club. By the time she finished cleaning up, the sun had already set. She slung her bag over her shoulder and started walking toward the main exit. But something felt different. The hallway seemed unusually long. No matter how many steps she took, the end doors didn't seem to get closer. Her footsteps echoed unnaturally loud against the tile floor. She glanced back. The way behind her looked normal. Rows of lockers, classroom doors, nothing out of place. But ahead of her, the hallway stretched endlessly. She quickened her pace, muttering under her breath. "Just tired, I'm imagining things." That's when she heard it. Another pair of footsteps, perfectly in sync with hers, except half a beat too late. Her heart skipped. She spun around. Nobody was there. The hall was empty. "Hello?" Her voice trembled. "Is someone there?" No response, only silence. Ayumi turned back and nearly screamed. The lights above her were flickering, one by one, going dark from behind, swallowing the hallway in blackness. She broke into a run. Her shoes slapped the floor, echoing into the void. No matter how hard she ran, the exit doors never came closer. She could feel something chasing her now. The footsteps were no longer delayed. They were right on top of hers. Then she tripped. Her hands slammed against the cold tile. She squeezed her eyes shut, bracing for something to grab her. But when she opened them again, she was lying in front of the school entrance. The hallway behind her looked perfectly normal. Ayumi stumbled outside, gasping for air. To this day, students say, if you walk that hallway alone at night, you might get pulled into the endless path. And if you don't make it back out, nobody will ever find you.